This song came heavily requested. This is No One Mourns the Wicked, and it's the song in the musical Wicked where we get to hear the more operatic vocal techniques from the Galindas. So in this video, I'm going to celebrate and compare Ariana Grande and Kristen Chenoweth singing this song. Kristen Chenoweth was the original Broadway performer of it, and obviously Ariana Grande sang it in the movie. My name's Tim. I've been a vocal instructor for the last 24 years. As I said, I used to be an opera singer as well. I've produced electronic music. I used to play piano bars. I've been in rock bands. I even wrote a musical, a vampire musical back in the day. So I've lived a lot of musical lives, and musical theater has been a huge one. So I'm excited to listen through this. Also, I want to let you know, if you're a singer and you're looking for a vocal instructor, I've got an amazing team of teachers that teach with me. There are 8 instructors other than me. We have students all over the world that we're currently working with. Lots of them are doing musical theater too. I've got some amazing musical theater teachers. So if you're looking for lessons, hit us up. My website's down in the description, timwelchmusic.com. Also, if you want to bend my ear a bit more on the next songs that we listen to together, or you just want to support the channel in general, come on over to Patreon. I've got a really cool community over there. Lots of high vibrating people talking about music, bending my ear. You can even private message me over there, stuff like that. So the link is also in the description down below for that. All right, here we go. We're jumping right in.
Linda! Fellow Ossians, let us be glad, let us be grateful, let us rejoicify that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you know. Isn't it nice to know that good will conquer evil?
So good.
The truth we all believe by and by. Oh, deliver I for you.
Stop there. All right, let's scoot over to Ariana. I just have to say before we go to Ariana on this was so fascinating to me over the years. I've used the comparison of the way Kristin Chenoweth performed this to convince musical theater singers that they need to build their head voices. Sometimes in musical theater, when you're coming up as a young kiddo learning how to sing musical theater, you just want to belt. You don't want to do the head voice, the old classical type of technique. But I always say, well, if you want to play Galinda, you've got to build your head voice. Because you've got to do everything with this role. You've got to be an opera singer. You've got to be like a comedic musical theater type singer. Then you've got to also be able to access your pop tones. This role is very complicated to sing. Okay, now let's head over and hear the Ariana one.
It's Glinda. Let us be glad. Let us be grateful.
What do you notice tone quality wise so far? What do you notice the difference?
Let us rejoicify that goodness could subdue the wicked workings of you know.
So much more airflow.
Isn't it nice to know that good will conquer evil? The truth we all believe by and by. Oh, deliver for you.
Okay, so what's the difference? What do you notice different here? So Kristen Chenoweth has more of what you would consider like a true operatic vocal production. And what do I mean by that? You can hear the airflow. You can hear the air release in the way that Ariana Grande is doing it. The air release sound is a big part of her tone in her contemporary commercial music singing. In opera, we typically train that quality out because in opera, we're looking to cut an orchestra. We're looking to be heard in the back of a theater. And when the airflowy tone, that airflowy sound, it doesn't get past the woodwinds. It doesn't get out of the orchestra. So you need to have a cut to your voice. And the way you get that cut is through clean adduction of the vocal folds, or clean closure of the vocal folds. And when you get the cords closed and you open your throat and open the space in your mouth just right, you can get a really ringy sound. So you can hear Kristin Chenoweth has a little more of that true operatic sound where it's the open throat, it's more ringy and pointed. Ariana Grande has less of the open throat sound and it's a little more airflowy and poppy. This isn't a right or wrong or who's better or who's not better type of a thing. This is really almost like a stylistic type of a choice. And this is a musical. This isn't an opera. So it's like, how much opera do we need in it, right? That kind of raises that question. Like, is what Ariana Grande did here appropriate? Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Kristin Chenoweth, you have to understand, like, she's like a real deal classically trained opera singer. I mean, she used to sing Glitter and Be Gay, which is like it's a very complicated operatic technique song. So I think that they both work. I really do, as this is a musical. Now, if Ariana Grande were singing like this in an actual opera, I don't think that would work as much because opera is a restorative art form. It's an art form where you're literally trying to recreate the performance practice from a few hundred years ago. So does it work here? Absolutely. Is it different from Kristen's? Absolutely. Now let's see if you can hear some of those differences I was talking about.
Let us be glad.
Let us be. Very open, very ringy.
Let us be glad.
So Ariana has less backspace. Little. She's less like that. She's more let us. So she has a higher larynx, less internal space. One of the things that makes an opera singer is it's the consistency of that internal space all the time.
Let us be grateful.
See, I can hear her larynx elevating when she goes high and lowering when she goes lower. An opera singer keeps a neutral larynx position the whole time they sing. Can you see my larynx? Yeah. See how it's staying in the same place? Now, when it goes up, notice there's a tone quality change. My tone gets thinner. Contemporary commercial music singers' larynx changes position depending on what pitch range they're in. If you sing high as a contemporary singer, you have less internal space. When you sing low as a contemporary singer, you have more internal space. Opera singers don't do that. If you have operatic training, you can keep your larynx down and relaxed and neutral the whole time, regardless of whether you're high or low. And that's one of those signatures of the operatic sound. You go high like I just did there, but you keep that openness in the back of your throat. Kristin Chenoweth does that. Ariana Grande doesn't do that.
Let us be grateful.
Do you hear how full that is up there? And do you hear how ringy that is?
Let us rejoicify that goodness could subdue.
That's like real operatic singing right there.
Let us rejoicify that goodness could subdue.
And this is more like a pop singer singing in their head voice. By the way, that's one of the things I've loved about Ariana Grande's pop voice is when she does use head voice, it's very husky and windy, and it's got this warm, lo-fi accessibility to it. I'm thinking about the song she sings, POV. That song is really good mixing. It's like a really good... I use that song when I'm teaching pop students a lot, how to coordinate mixing and using head voice in a contemporary commercial music way, because it's different. I work with a lot of musical theater singers who also want to sing pop, and I work hard to make sure that they differentiate between how their head voice is used in theater and opera versus how it's used in pop. Ariana Grande's is more poppy here.
The wicked workings of you know.
But one thing that makes it more operatic is the consistency of vibrato in the tone. Opera singers have vibrato all the time.
Isn't it nice to know that good will conquer evil?
So you can hear she didn't go, caw. She didn't open her throat. Caw. It was very high larynx there. And this isn't a bad thing. This is a musical. This is normal. It's really opera where we have that, that open-throated thing all of the time. I'm not saying at all that it's necessary here for Wicked.
The truth we all believe by and by.
So right at the end of that note, it sounded like her larynx like squeezed up and got a little tight right before the release of that note. No, right here. Right when she went lie, when she went to the E of lie, there was a little teeny little grab in the throat. So that happens when you go to the diphthong too early. In opera, diphthongs are the enemy. What's a diphthong? The word lie. We've got an ah in there and an E vowel sound in there. Lie. You can't go to the E vowel sound way up that high. It's not a good vowel for that register of the female voice. You have to keep it lie. You have to just keep it an ah. And then kind of hint at the E vowel part of the diphthong. Don't go all the way into it. You have to just keep it open. Let's see what Kristen does up on that note. Now, she had great openness there. So Kristen had more open throat as she sang that part, which gave it more ringiness. Yeah. So right here, she doesn't have the open-throated operatic sound anymore. Now we're into contemporary musical theater. Such shape-shifting needed to sing this role. So impressive.
And goodness knows the wicked's lives are lonely.
Ooh.
Goodness knows the wicked die alone.
Little poppier, little extra holding of notes here and there. There's not as much of a difference between Ariana's voice when she does the operatic part to this part here. It's a little more similar, and that's because she didn't do the like the open throat thing as much in the operatic part. She had movable larynx position, is what I call it in my voice studio, on both of the parts there. That's why it sounds a little more similar from one part to the other.
Now at last she's there and gone.
Power!
Now at last there's joy throughout the land. And goodness knows we know what goodness is.
There she is. Okay. Here we go.
No one mourns the
Yeah. So she's a little more present in the mix. You can hear her sitting out front a little bit more. Kristen was more baked into the ensemble in the back. Yeah. Ah. I can hear her in there. She's out front. Ariana's out front. What? What? She went up into whistle tone there. Da. You can't hear that. Like Kristen doesn't do that on the original Broadway. They didn't go there. Listen.
No one mourns the wicked.
See, Kristen's not isolated out. Oh my God. Wait to hear the Ariana one more time here. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. That. I like it better. See, you can still hear Ariana sticking out a little bit on those ensemble parts when I couldn't really pick out Kristen as easily in the original Broadway. See, you can hear Ariana in there. I have no problem at all that Ariana put that in there. I think that's great. So there you go. That's, my kind of listen through, just sort of shooting from the hip, riffing on what I'm hearing. They're both amazing. This is not about, I like this better than that, or this, this isn't like a who's better type of a thing. This is celebrating the art that they both have created. This isn't a right or wrong. Ariana Grande has more of the pop type of approach to those high notes, and Kristen Chenoweth has more of the straight up operatic style of approach to those high notes. They're both spectacular. That was so much fun to listen to. What did you think? What did you enjoy? What choices did they make that you felt were exciting and interesting? Got the goosebumps going for you? Let me know in the comments what you thought about that. And don't forget, I've also pinned the playlist of my other Wicked videos so you can listen through those as well. Is there another one you want me to do, or is 4 enough of this? You want me to do more? If so, let me know. I haven't done What Is This Feeling? And there are a couple others that I could do as well. But if you want me to do a couple more Wicked, let me know. That was so much fun. And like I said, also subscribe if you are new to my channel. Come join the Patreon if you want to talk music and learn about some more singing stuff. And if you need voice lessons, shoot me an email on my website. Thanks for listening. Cheers.